Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Brady's drug fix close call, Sloan loses it over needy baby. According to the Thursday, February 8 spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Stephanie Johnson spent a flirtatious evening with Everett Lynch, who thought Chad DiMera would handle the news of their relationship well. Everett was ecstatic to hear Stephanie confess that she was falling back in love with him since he felt the same way about her as he did when they were in Seattle. Everett made a suggestion that maybe he wanted Stephanie to himself on Valentine's Day when Stephanie suggested going on a double date with Ray Fernandez and Jada Hunter. During Thursday's episode of Days at Statesville, Harris Michaels made fun of Clyde Weston by bringing up an item from The Spectator, his mugshot, and all the merchandise he had lost during the drug arrest. Additionally, Harris disclosed that Clyde's covert phone had been seized by removing an evidence bag. Harris refused to negotiate in any way, even if it meant that Ava would have further problems. Clyde believed that Harris should make a deal with him over that phone because it may land Ava in jail. Brady Black then appeared on Thursday's DOL show, during which Teresa Donovan was attending a group and discussing her recent setback with addiction. Following the meeting, Brady gave Teresa the reassurance that he wasn't observing her and that he had a personal need for the gathering. Teresa was concerned by the news because Brady had called to get a fix, but she was reassured when Brady explained that he had attended a meeting rather than using. Brady criticized his father for not being around for the most of Tate Black's existence and said that since Tate had been chilly in his most recent letter, he believed Tate was processing something in therapy. Brady was still certain that he made mistakes with Tate and Rachel Black, despite Teresa's insistence that he was a fantastic father. Teresa brought up their recent kiss and acknowledged that, in spite of what she had said at the time, she actually did feel something after reassuring Brady. Teresa was gorgeous, Brady said, and there was a spark, but he also reminded her that she was with Alex Kyriakis. Furthermore, Brady believed that, for Tate's benefit, he ought to maintain the simplicity of his relationship with Teresa. On Thursday's episode of Days, John Black acknowledged falling victim to Constantine Melioni's trap at Black Patch. Steve Johnson took offense at John for having to face the perilous encounter by himself and pretended to be unaware of Constantine's tragic Katharina tale. As they argued, John became anxious and drew his palm to his chest, but Steve helped him to relax by telling him to take a deep breath. John apologized, but he couldn't understand what was wrong with him and admitted that he had lied to Marlena Evans in the past. Steve pretended that getting rid of Constantine no matter what was at stake. On Thursday's episode of Days, Sloan Peterson Brady took a tray of supper inside and sat down with Eric Brady on the couch. As Eric was taking care of the infant, Sloan became irate and poured herself a large glass of wine. Jude Brady had started sobbing just at that moment. When Eric came back and saw that Sloan was drinking more than normal, she became irate with him for trying to watch over her and said that they no longer had any alone time. Sloan felt that Jude was now Eric's top priority, but Eric made an effort to comfort her. Sloan continued to drink wine when Eric was forced to leave the room for Jude once more. When Eric returned, he set Sloan off again, bringing up papers in the pediatric literature on how good it was to sleep with the infant in the same room, or even in the same bed. Eric was cool with Sloan hitting the covers if she was in the right frame of mind, but she made it obvious that she wanted some alone time. As Sloan attempted to reheat the supper, Eric and Sloan encountered their final disruption. Eric took Sloan to the bed so they could make love, but she didn't appear hungry and was ultimately content. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Sloan is clearly not suited for parenthood. Check back for more on the remaining challenges. Camila Banus teases her new role as Willa, the suspenseful details of Final Heist. According to spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Camila Banus is taking on a new role in the suspense thriller Final Heist. Banus shared the trailer and a statement about her delight for the project on Instagram as the movie's release date approaches for Tubi. Banus portrays a resolute mother named Willa in the movie, who is informed by medical professionals that her daughter is in critical need of a compatible donor and that her father is her only hope for survival. Willa understands that she needs to retrieve her husband's tissue from a maximum security facility, but she'll need some assistance from some former criminal acquaintances. To pull off one last theft and possibly save Willa's daughter's life, the entire gang teams up. It sounds a lot like one of those films that depicts the lengths a mother will go to in order to protect her child. Camila Banus is going to provide a fantastic performance if the trailer is any guide. Let's examine what Banus recently said on Instagram on Final Heist. Very happy about this. Had a blast portraying Willa. I started acting as a way to pretend and play. It was a dream come true for me because I got to play so much in this movie, Banus remarked. It's obvious that Banus had a pleasure creating Willa because the Days actor also spoke about her fantastic co-stars from Final Heist and the amazing crew. In terms of availability, the to-be original film Final Heist debuts on Friday, February 9th. If you want to see Banus in action, don't miss it. Gabby was given a sudden prison release when Banus made the decision to quit Days. Recently, Stefan DiMera was spotted thinking back on their wedding day while staring at a photo of Banus Gabby. But ultimately, Gabby will look different because we know a casting is in the pipeline. Stay tuned for updates on all the most recent casting news as there is a lot of talk indicating Sherry Jimenez will replace Gabby. Even though Banus was missed by many Days fans on DOL, it's good to see her taking on new challenges and nailing roles like this one in Final Heist as Willa. Stay tuned for the Gabby recast Salem premiere later on in the show, according to spoilers for Days of Our Lives. Bullets fly as all hell breaks loose in Salem. Days of Our Lives spoilers hint at a dramatic week in Salem as John almost shoots Harris in the head and Harris takes a bullet. It appears that some intense hate sex results from Ava Vitale and Stefan DiMera's resolve to get rid of Clyde Weston and his drug rings. This couldn't be the worst thing, since they had previously been acting like they were having an affair, can it? Unfortunately, Ava and Stefan both maintain that no one should ever find out the truth about what actually transpired between them. Ultimately, Stefan is wed, and his spouse is wasting away behind bars for a non-existent crime. Regarding Harris Michaels, the police officer whom Ava believes she loves and who he claims to love, he succeeds in conducting a narcotics bust and believes he has everything he needs to bust the entire drug ring, that is, until he gets shot. Will Harris find something in this, and will Ava immediately run to his side? Determined to get to the bottom of things, Chad DiMera visits Clyde in Statesville. They haven't seen each other since Chad found out that Clyde killed his adored wife, Abigail DiMera. Thanks to E.J. DiMera, Xander Cook also finds himself entangled in this situation. What impact will this have on his recently formed bond with Sarah Horton? If he isn't careful, he can lose both her and Victoria. Not everything goes according to plan as John Black meets Constantine again at the park. Though the Greek con artist appears to be using a tarot card, he is more knowledgeable about the pawn than John could have ever anticipated. It's obvious that Constantine has learned from Victor Cassadine of General Hospital. Isn't John just your typical Drew Kane? John can't even recall who he is when he sees the tarot card. When Constantine puts a gun to his own head and urges him to pull the trigger, will he be able to escape the mind control? See how these storylines end by watching new episodes of Days of Our Lives every weekday at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Peacock.